番を選んだのかを教えていただけますか。
Mike Trout, I love you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. Mike Trout says, I love you too, to Seiya Suzuki. It's been a crazy offseason for the Cubs, but we are very excited for Seiya Suzuki. Even Tony's excited for Seiya Suzuki to be a part of the Chicago Bears. We are hitting on him, and all the data about him is he is the most potential, exciting player that has entered the Cubs organization in the last couple years, especially after last year with all the big three of Anthony Rizzo, Chris Bryant, and Javi Baez getting shipped off. Suzuki signed a 5-year, $85 million contract with the Chicago Cubs on March 18, 2022. He was in talks with multiple other teams. I know the Giants were in a big bid war for him, and he at the end of the day chose who he wanted to go to, and that was the Chicago Cubs. And I can't blame him. Tony, how do you feel?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm happy for the Cubs. Like, I'm happy that he chose the Cubs. I'm a baseball fan through and through. Obviously, I like the White Sox, but I'm a baseball fan. I love the buzz around a big international signing, whether it's Ohtani, Darvish, honestly, Kosuke Fukudome, the old Cubs guy.
That was fun.
I love that. Obviously, it maybe didn't work out exactly how the Cubs wanted it to, but that potential, that hype, there's absolutely nothing like it. And baseball, for some reason, I think personally just really highlights that the best. So also selfishly, if he does end up failing and it's a whole thing, it's nice that it's right in our backyard. And as a White Sox fan, I get to watch it up close. But with the stats we're about to go through, I don't think he will fail. And
you don't wish failure on him. Just putting that out there too. Okay. All right. You know what? Everyone ignore Tony for that little comment that he just made. Overall, but I'm with him. It feels different. The Kosuke Fukudome, the Yu Darvish signings, those were, hype. There was a lot of hype behind this. This one kind of was under the radar for me. And in my opinion, I didn't feel too much about it. And then you start looking into it and you're like, wow, this guy is really good, especially the stats that he had over in Japan that Tony's about to go through. Wrigley is going to be a lot of fun this summer if he brings that over. And also shout out to our good friend, Riley Crossan, the man that caught his first hit and first home run as a Chicago Cub during spring training out in Arizona. Suzuki actually asked PR and they approached Riley if he could trade for his home run ball that Riley caught, and to trade him for a baseball autograph by him that says thank you in Japanese, obviously his autograph, a picture, and then Riley was interviewed by a bunch of Japanese news reporters. So that was kind of cool. Very excited about that. Riley, you're a nice guy for doing it.
Yeah, he should have got him on our podcast as well as the trade, but that's okay. No, that would have been funny. But speaking of Wrigley, though, our team will be at opening day at Wrigley in the bleachers. Again, I'm a White Sox fan, but it's my favorite stadium in the entire world. I'll say it. I love Wrigley Field. So make sure to follow us on social media, as we'll be around Wrigley all morning, starting at 10 a.m. Our handles are all in the description. We'd love to see you guys out there. So let's get into the man himself, named Seiya Suzuki. So he was born in Arakawa, Japan. I apologize if I said that incorrectly, but he is currently 27 years old. Stands at 5'11", weighing 182 pounds. So he's kind of a stick, which is interesting. But he's got the power, so there's no issue there. He bats right, he throws right. So he's just a good old-fashioned righty. He played in the Nippon Professional Baseball League for the Hiroshima Toyo Carp since 2013. So his whole, professional career over in Japan. Suzuki is a 4-time NPB All-Star, 5-time NPB Best 9 Award winner, and a 3-time winner of the NPB Golden Glove Award. He is mainly an outfielder, but he can, and he'll probably play left field specifically, but he really can play any position. He is just a really good athlete and a really good baseball player, so he can fill in wherever he needs to. He didn't get his rhythm right away, so kind of just going into some of his stats, he didn't get his rhythm right away. Once he turned 21 in 2016, he became a monster, though. So in 2016, he was slashing 355, 404, 612. That's batting average, on-base percentage, slugging, for those of you not sure. So 29 home runs, 95 RBIs, 16 stolen bases. 2017, he slashed 300, 389, 547 with 26 home runs, 90 RBIs, 16 stolen bases. 2018, 320, 439, 619, 30 home runs, 94 RBIs. 2019, 335, 453, 565, 28 home runs, 87 RBIs, and 25 stolen bases, which is crazy. 2020, he went 300, 400, 544, 25 home runs, 75 RBIs, 6 stolen bases. Obviously a weird year, so I'm sure he had just had less stolen bases, but less games played. In 2021, He slashed 317, 433, 639, which I believe is his highest through this whole run. Yes, it was. 38 home runs. Again, nuts. Absolutely bananas. 88 RBIs, which feels like it's kind of low for that many home runs, and 9 stolen bases. So that's his hitting. He's a pretty damn good outfielder, if I do say so myself. Again, as a baseball fan, not even a Cubs fan, as a baseball fan. He doubled up 4 runners from the outfield last year alone, which is,
pretty impressive.
That's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. I love a good outfield assist. Everyone does. He did have 3 errors last year, but that's all of last year. And at the same time, he plays, every single game. He plays all 9 innings. So I think his fielding percentage came out to a 0.989. So he'll be all right. He is going to make a lot of noise with stats like that. And I will say, even some delusional Cubs fans think he can make the same adjustment to the MLB like Shohei Ohtani. And honestly, as I was reading off those stats, I kind of believe it too. So, Nick,
can't deny that. Can't deny that. I just want to hit on, his impact with the team as a whole. Just not only from just his, stat percentage, but his overall feel. Because we kind of said it in the beginning, but he's a fresh, exciting energy that comes to the Chicago Cubs, who last year, again, lost its core and pretty much deflated the fan base. Like, what's next? I mean, I still have every single jersey from the core guys. And I'm like, what do I do with these things? Which I'm going to keep them, obviously. But there's a lot of potential behind this guy. And he could easily become an all-star if he puts his stats that he had in Japan over in the United States. And also, third time's a charm with having an international player. All I got to say is that. The Cubs outfield the last couple years has been I mean, you have Jason Hayward with an absolute cannon out there, but one guy can't cover the whole entire outfield. Suzuki brings just strong defense, speed, and overall outfield knowledge that the Cubs have been really missing. And he has a cannon too, like Tony said, 4 double plays from the outfield. Super impressive. I only did that once in my entire baseball career, and I didn't go anywhere. But obviously, I did it one time, and it felt like amazing. This guy did it 4 times. His bat, though, is the biggest impact on the team. Even his wheels he steals a lot of bases. Cubs have not stolen a lot of bases the last couple of years. You get guys like Frank Swindle, Patrick Wisdom lighting it up when Rizzo, Baez, and Bryant were gone. And this guy is another threat to the lineup. So you take a little bit of pressure off them. They're able to focus on a few more things instead of always trying to kill the ball. So I think we got him on a great deal too. Less than $100 million is obviously attractive, but still the guy got the bag. So Tony, any final comments before we close out?
Yeah, final comments. One thing, sorry guys, this is kind of a quick one. Nick and I both have a lot going on at work. We'll do a full preview next week, so we'll get more into it. But a realistic take from me, I'd be excited as hell if I'm a Cubs fan. We can go over the stats until we bleed from our eyes, but the coolest part around any of these deals is always the hype. I know I said in the beginning, but it's always the hype. And as we've seen with other international players, if they could exceed that hype, that's where legends are born. So be excited, Cubs fans. I'll say it. As much as it hurts, get ready.
And thank you very much for joining this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Brody, joined alongside Tony Speedham. We'll see you guys next time.